Thank you, Chairwoman Horn, and I also want to thank you and Chairwoman Johnson, ranking members Lucas and Babin for their leadership on space issues and their work on this bill. And it is important for the legislative process to remain bipartisan, absolutely. In the House, it's important for this bill to be signed into law. Obviously, but again, worth stating, the directives, the resources, the authorities in this bill envision a long-term national commitment to human exploration, both the moon and Mars, which is a priority for me, for my district that's just north of Mr. Posey at Cape Canaveral. But in addition to deep space exploration, the bill provides a vision for the ISS, NASA's Science, Aeronautics, Technology, and STEM education programs. However, I do share the concerns that have been expressed today by my colleagues, by the administrator in his letter, by Administrator Bridenstine in his letter to the committee yesterday. One of my concerns in a matter of process is there was not enough time between the introduction of this bill and this markup to receive adequate feedback, in our humble opinion, from the committee, from stakeholders on the amendments that would have led to better agreement on some of the more difficult issues. Secondly, I do have concerns with the changes to the Human Lunar Lander Program and the implication of those changes to competition, to the architecture, to the broad agency announcement, and the timing of the development. And without more flexibility for NASA than currently provided for the Lunar Lander Program, sufficient investment in Artemis, which will produce technological advancement engagement with our commercial partners, may be in jeopardy. I am hopeful to receive the commitment of the chairwoman to address this concern in the full committee markup. And then thirdly, I have concerns with the unintended consequences to the Gateway program with some ambiguous language in the bill as written. Gateway is a critical program. It's an important program, particularly to the Kennedy Space Center, but it's important to meeting a number of our goals in space as a country, particularly on the national security front, in addition to lunar exploration with reusable rockets and in addition to reaching Mars. Further, I do support the administration's pursuit of landing the next man and the first woman on the moon by 2024. I think that's a critical goal, and the final product of this authorization should not undermine that goal. The Artemis mission serves a strategic purpose for the United States, and it is critical to maintaining our predominance versus our adversaries, China and Russia, that are taking this domain very seriously. The Chinese are acting incredibly aggressively, and we must have that same sense of urgency. So while this bill represents progress towards our common goals, I do look forward to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle over the next 2 weeks to address these issues and to review the President's FY21 budget request, which is imminent for NASA. Thank you, Chairwoman Horn. I appreciate your work on this, and I yield back.